Welcome to Inspirational Talks with LaDonna Marie, a Planting Positive Seeds podcast. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Inspirational Talks with LaDonna Marie. And I am so excited about tonight that I'm going to bring you all of the hosts that are going to come with me for the Resilient Queens edition. You Are an Overcome conference I have coming up. And so here on the Planting Positive Seeds podcast, where we encourage and empower others, we talk about obstacles and we also talk about the triumphant moments in your life. So what better place to bring all of my amazing, phenomenal speakers here to the broadcast so that you all can get a treat in like a little bit, like a sneak peek of what they'll be talking about on November the 7th. From 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. on our Planting Positive Seeds virtual conference. And you know, this year we had to do things different. So I've been doing Planting Positive Seeds about 7 years, and I've had these conferences. This is going to be my 4th conference. So I'm so excited that even though things have changed, I still wanted to bring you Planting Positive Seeds in the year of 2020. So, you know, I'm your host, LaDonna Marie, of Planting Positive Seeds, always here to encourage, always here to empower, because God wants us to do that to other people, that when we have become strengthened, that we go back and we strengthen our brethren and also our sisters. So without further ado, I'm going to bring in my amazing, phenomenal speakers so that they can introduce themselves to you all, to the listeners of Planting Positive Seeds, Inspirational Talks with LaDonna Marie. So come on in, ladies. How are you all tonight?
Doing very well.
Hello.
Hey, everybody. So it's 4 of us on the line tonight, everybody. So we're gonna start with Miss Toni. And we're going to have you to introduce yourself. Then we're going to go to LeKeisha, and then we're going to go to Kimberly. So just introduce yourself to the listeners of Inspirational Talks, and just tell them, who you are and, what you do.
Hi, I'm Toni Henderson-Mayers. I am a television, radio, relationship, and business expert, author, and entrepreneur. Many people know me as Wise Courtship because of one of my brands. It's a book with a 3-step system that will help you determine the true character of your love interest. But I'm also the director of the Alphabet Theater Workshop, CEO of Word Therapy Publishing, the creator of the Wise Courtship Philosophy Group, and my newest baby, the Hustle Hub Business Club, for those of us who are interested in business development, creating streams of income, and coming up with job alternatives. So that's me in a nutshell. I am a wife. I have 2 sons that are in college, and I'm having a great time doing what I do.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Ms. Toni. LeKeisha?
I am so honored to be here. My name is LeKeisha Mosley, and I am a business identity strategist. I am a wife. I am a role model. I am an author. I am an author and a speaker, and I pretty much give positive examples and paths for young women and older women how to love themselves and to create their own gifts and to pretty much cultivate their gifts, to begin to understand exactly what's in their heart already there, and begin to show them how they can bloom in those gifts and how they can be effective in their paths moving forward. I am a podcaster. I actually am a speaker and a coach, and I love what I do. I love writing. I love talking. So that's definitely just my staple. I always talk about that. I love doing those 2 things. And honestly, if I'm just doing that, I just know that God is going to elevate those gifts, and He's going to get all the glory. So I'm definitely just happy to do those things, and definitely happy to be here today. Thank you so much, LaDonna.
You are welcome. Thank you. Miss Kimberly.
Hi, I am Kimberly Moore, life and relationship coach, author, influencer, and I am also a mother to a very, what can I say, smart young man. And I am the founder of Heal One, Build One, and my motto is heal before you build. So the number one thing I like to speak on is healing, because a lot of times we go through things in our lives and we are still hurt from it. We never overcome it, and we try to build things from a hurt place.
Come on with it.
When we should be building from healed in a whole place. So that's the thing that I like to work with, helping people to heal from the area that they need to heal from, so they can be able to be prosperous in whatever they're doing.
Exactly. Oh my goodness. So you all know, like I told you all off the interview that I when I asked God about who should I pick, for the upcoming conference, and it's just like he highlighted each and every one of you all ladies because of what you just said, in a nutshell. I've even bought some of Kimberly's products, her t-shirts, and I have it says that she prevails. And I love the fact that she talks about healing and encouraging others. And, that's one of the biggest things that I want, people to get from, the You Are Overcomer conference, that, we have to heal and we have to look at those areas. And then with Miss Toni, I have your Wise Courtship book. Recently just bought that, and I ran through that book, in probably about like a week. And I was so excited because all of the tips and things that you had in there and all of your wisdom and knowledge, and everything that you do as far as like business and other things that I know is going to be a great asset to, what you're doing for the conference as a speaker. I just knew that the people who will come to the conference would benefit from it. And then LeKeisha, with you and women and young girls and pouring into them, and with your podcast and being a co-author, and like all of you all are authors. But I was so excited that God had highlighted you all because you have so much to give. And I love to collaborate with powerful women such as yourselves so that we can, help, it says, the Bible says that one could put 1,000 to flight and two could put 10,000 to flight. And so with all of us at the You Are an Overcomer conference, I know that we're going to reach so many lives. So I'm LaDonna Marie, and I normally don't talk about myself on my own podcast, but I'm an inspirational author who loves to empower others to overcome obstacles. And so that was one of the main reasons why God influenced me to start Planting Positive Seeds, this podcast, because he asked me to start talking about, the reason why I have so much joy, but it wasn't because I did not go through anything, because I'm a survivor of suicide, when I was a teenager. And so I never want people to feel like I felt, but I also had to let them know that there was a process that I had to go through, and that I had to learn to be this person, and I had to heal, as Kimberly talked about, and I had to, go through those rough parts in my life. So, I am an overcomer, and I know that you all had some situations in your life that you have become, you're an overcomer too. So I know that this is going to be amazing. I just want to share with you all, and then I'm going to ask you all about, the title. But when God was giving me the title, You Are Overcomer, just some of the things that he was sharing with me is that he wanted, the listeners and the people that were coming to the conference to embrace their scars. And so many times, we fall into denial that some things don't exist. And so that was one of the things that I think that now that we have to teach and tell people about is that you have scars, I have scars, we've overcame it, we're smiling, we're healthy, but there wasn't a process. And so that was one of the things that he wanted, us to share within this conference, because I think more people have to see the authentic us. They have to know that behind the pictures that we just put on social media or what we share with our, with our timeline, it's more than life than that. Another part that he wanted me to share was disconnecting from the old story. And so in order to be an overcomer, you do have to identify what you're attempting to overcome. And then you have to, as you grow, you have to disconnect from that story. And so those things really just stood out to me. And I know that, You're an Overcomer is a big title as far as looking at different things. But could you all share, each of you all, and whoever wants to go first, what does "You Are an Overcomer" mean to you, in your life when you heard the title and when you were asked to, come along and be a speaker? Anybody?
All right. Oh yeah, this is an exciting topic. Honestly, this has been my life for the past 10 years. Mind you, I am remarried, and I went through a process of, divorce where I felt not just broken, but I felt stripped. I felt that I couldn't begin again. I said, how can, I don't see how this can be renewed. God, You're telling me that I'm going to be renewed, but I just don't see this. I know you see bigger than me. I trust you. But at the same time, I am mad. I'm upset. I just feel like I have been tormented, just put in a state where I couldn't be clean again. I just felt like, I was embarrassed. I felt like, I was, lied to. I felt like I was belittled. All those things, that Satan really puts in your head to make you feel no value, right? To make you feel like not enough, that God made a mistake. So what I mean, what overcomer means to me is that, it is a process, right? And it is a process, where it won't happen that day that you say that, you're an overcomer. At the same time, you're going to go through a cleansing state. Exactly. So I understand that process. When I remarried, I remarried in a whole state. Okay. I didn't know that I could be whole, right? So I'm transparent with that. I tell people I didn't know if I can be whole again, but God told me, listen, take some pictures, look some marriages, go into Essence magazine, look at some of those marriages, begin to look some marriages that, you inspire to be like, don't look at your past. I've recovered, you from the past. I need you to look at your now. So I was literally in a state where I couldn't see what happened before, because I was looking at these pictures and I said, oh, I'm getting married again. I need to get some, some jewelry. I need to get a new dress. I was in a process where I felt like I was on my wedding day. Okay. I really began to change my mindset of what I was to the now. And so much so to where it went by so fast. I was introduced to my husband. I was introduced to a new pathway. And, that's a whole nother story how we met. But just to let you know that God does take you through the process if you're willing. Exactly. I had to be willing to accept this new reality, and give up the old. Right. So when I did give up the old, I was able to take what God said, and then I was able to soar. So being an overcomer means that to me.
Awesome. Being able to accept the new reality and
yes.
The old. That is good. All right.
Just being an overcomer indicates that you had to go over something. You had to rise above something. And what's interesting is that when we talk about a champion, even in a heavyweight championship, in boxing, a champion is a champion because they had to lose first. They had to get beat up. They had to get some scars. They had to go through some things. And what makes them a champion is that they rise even regardless of having to fall down. They've had to fall down many times, sometimes almost be counted out, sometimes even lose a prior match. But they have those scars of what they've been through. And for overcomer to me means, because a lot of times people see your glory, but they don't know your story. And it is being able to hang in there regardless of what you see and what you're going through, which is basically faith anyway, but being able to hang in there and stick with it, even though it may not look like what you think it's, what you see. It may not look that way, but you still stick with it. You still hang in there. That's what makes you an overcomer. Not because I went to college and you get straight A's all the way through. You may have a class you fail. You may have to take it over. You may have to take the test. That's what makes you an overcomer, is that you stick with it regardless, because whatever God planted in you, you believe it. You're crazy enough to believe it. And no matter what, you're going to fight toward that. And that's what really an overcomer means to me, because very often people are fooled by looking at your glory and say, well, everything went perfect, everything was great for you, everything was wonderful, and they have that assumption. Sometimes people say that to me. I'm saying, no, darling. No way in the world anything went perfect for me. That's part of being an overcomer.
Yes, and like you said, being able to hang in there, like, that is what I feel like people really need to hear, in this day and age. Like, they really need to hear that. Kimberly? Hold on one second.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, for me, when I think about overcomer, when I think about the word overcomer, I think about someone who continues to overcome. Where I didn't just, yes, I overcame, I'm overcoming, but overcomer, I will continue no matter what the obstacle is in front of me. At the end of the day, I still will be a overcomer because I overcame whatever came my way. And which is another thing that the reason my t-shirt, She Prevailed, that was a word that, a name that God gave me, as far as, because when I look at my life, when I look at my story, and I went through a divorce too, and it was by far, getting married at 21. I was young. So at that age, we all think we know everything. And so, you learn so much, and you make so many mistakes. And it's like, okay, no matter what obstacle I had to go through during that process, when I was married and going through divorce and everything, no matter what, I prevailed. She prevailed. Whatever the test was, she prevailed. So that's ringing, that was ringing in my ear, like, she prevailed. So we know that trials will come. We know that they come to make us stronger and not to take us out. So for me, no matter how hard the test was, it's challenging, but I know that having been a woman of faith, knowing that God will always be there with me, or He is always there with me, my main question to Him is, what is it that you want me to learn from this? What is it that you want me to get out of this? Because I know I'm not here for a reason. I know that I'm not going through this for a reason. So I want to get the lesson. I want to continue to be an overcomer, because I can't give up. I can't stop, because there's nothing to give up for. There's nothing to stop for. So I want to continue to be an overcomer, and I want to continue to prevail. So for me, it's continuing. No matter what. That's what an overcomer is.
Oh, I love each and every one of your answers, like each one of your feedback. I'm gonna tell you, Kimberly, because like you said at the end, get the lessons, and God had me probably like after my third book, he was placing within me to say, like, what am I learning? Like, what lessons am I learning so that I won't have to continue to go back, through different situations. And you all know that I'm a poet, so I'm gonna read you all a poem. It came to mind as you all were talking, and this is from my second book, Until Tomorrow Comes, and the title of it is Overcoming. And it says, been through the fire and rain, back against the wall, head should be down, but it is held high. Victories not yet accomplished, yet the drive towards expectancy is acknowledged. The mask is removed. Motivation, endurance, and persistence is shown. Smaller acts add to a bigger and larger goal. Moving through determination, overcoming obstacles with a smile. Hope and faith are hanging in the background for support. Uplift is found through encouragement. I'm in the race, advancing. And that poem to me just it sums up everything that you all just said, because we didn't say we weren't gonna go through anything. We didn't acknowledge that we know that that there was a process, but we're in the race. We're moving forward. We're still doing what we have to do. And I think like that was the most important thing. I say most of the time for me, I always, I'd be like, God, the people that you want me to go after, like I have to find out really how do you want me to approach it, because sometimes people are comfortable with their mask. Sometimes they're comfortable with hiding. But I said, when he gave me this topic on last year, he was like, I need you to let them know that they're overcomers. I need you to let them know, that, I have no respect for person, but you have to want it. You have to desire it. I think like Toni said, you have to want it. You have to change your mindset, as LeKeisha said. So I'm so thankful that, whoever comes to the conference, that they're going to get, each of your experience, each lesson that you learned, the wisdom that you're going to bring to them, through your topics. And moving right, this is a segue right into, just don't give them everything that, you're going to talk about. But I want you to just give the listeners here, just what will they expect from your talk, your individual talk at the conference, so that they can invite a friend, they can register, and they can grow from what you're going to be pouring out. So, not in any order, everybody I just want them to know what they're going to expect, because I'm already excited. I was excited even when, I was like, I'm reaching out, and I was texting y'all and emailing, I was smiling like, my girl's coming with me and we gonna conquer the world. So just let them know what they're gonna expect from your talk, from your speaking. LeKeisha.
All right. Well, listen, what you can expect, I'm excited about this. This is funny because what used to be torment is now joy. And I'm happy about this now, because it was a state in my life where I couldn't begin to enjoy the process and understand how you need to really take care of your baby. You need to take care of your baby within, the gifts that God gives you within, and be happy about it. Now I'm happy about it. I'm excited about it because it's been a great journey. So when I began to accept that, that's what, how this title really birthed in my mind. So what it's called Cultivate Your Superpowers.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's Cultivate Your Superpowers really just reminded me of how I grew up. I grew up in an agriculture community, Michigan. That's why Michigan is like agriculture. It's nothing but ways that you can plant and grow crops, right? And you can really elevate there. That is somebody's livelihood to do that. Everybody doesn't have a 9-to-5 that way. They're in the crops, building. They're growing, corn and, plants and fruits and things of that nature. They're excited about that, but they know that they're not going to get that crop bloomed the next day. It's going to be a process. So they're excited about that process, So what I began to understand just in my life, when I began to remarry and began to love myself and go through that process, you know, I began to love the process. Mm-hmm. I began to love, you know, the gifts that God gave me. So I really began to love, you know, how my superpowers really, you know, really bloomed inside of me. Understanding your gifts, understanding the things that God has already created inside of you, you know, that is supposed to grow continuously. It doesn't stop one day. It's supposed to continuously grow.
Yes. Oh, that is so amazing. And I know that the listeners and that the people that are going to be at the conference are going to you know, be able to use that and apply it to their lives, you know, cultivating your superpowers, because we do have so many things within us, and we're born, you know, what we need to succeed, and God gives us everything at the beginning, but cultivating it and being able to learn and to grow and to know who you are, because I'm still learning who I am. I'm still learning as I move through every day. So it's like you said, it's continuous. So I know that you're going to impact many, many lives, and I can't wait to hear, you know, myself, so that I can, you know, get some of the nuggets that you have from your speech. So I'm so excited. Miss Toni?
First of all, I'm just so excited to be part of this conference. All of the ladies have so many powerful things to say, and I'm just so humbled that you asked me to be part of it. During a conversation that you and I had, LaDonna and I had, the Lord dropped in my spirit to talk about build what you see.
Yes.
And how do you get from all of the noise and the chatter, all of the negativity, all of what people have to say about you, from the visualizations of what you see around you? How do you get from there to become a builder? And we're going to also talk about in that, what do you see?
Yes.
Because I believe if you don't see it, you can't build it.
Exactly.
And so I'm really excited about, if you're listening and you happen to be someone to say, you know, these women, they sound wonderful, they sound great, but you don't know what's going on in my corner of the world, I invite you to come, because we're going to get very practical and motivational and spiritual and everything else. But we're going to find out in this topic that you have much more power than you realize. And the Bible talks a lot about, well, three animals in particular, the ant, the coney, and the spider. And we know that the ant is very industrious. But one of my favorite, when my father would preach about those three animals out of the Bible, was the spider. Because no matter how many times you knock down her spider web, the next morning when you get up, you may run smack dab right into it, because she's spending all of her time producing and building. She doesn't care how many times you knock her down. She's going to build what she sees, and she's going to make it happen. And so I'm excited to share that topic with you. I'm going to stop right here because I feel the power of the Holy Ghost.
That's right. Hold on.
I'm so excited because women, the people that LaDonna serves, that I serve, that all these wonderful women on this panel serve, you have so much gifting and so much power. And I believe if you tune in to this, you're going to be able to push that chatter and clatter away, and you're going to be able to see clearly what God has for you, and you're going to build like never before. And people are going to say, well, I don't know what's going on with you, but I want some of that.
Exactly. Oh my goodness, Toni, that's amazing. Like when I first heard it, I was like blown away, because like you said, you're going to tackle building what they see, but then you're also going to tackle, you know what I'm saying, fixing their lens to make sure they're seeing properly. And so sometimes you're not able to see because of the noise, because of what you've heard before, or you know you're never going to do this, so kind of getting unstuck and being able to be free. So I know that that's going to be an amazing part that we're going to actually give to others, because I know sometimes you do have to like verbalize it and tell a person, like even if you think that they know, until they hear it and they, they hear it, then they'll be able to use it. And like you said, I always like to be, we like to be practical. And I know I've watched you ladies move out in social media and in your own businesses. And I know that, if you're going to break it down for all of the people of the conference, so they'll be able to have something to take away, when they leave here, to apply to their life, not just to say I had a great time at the You Are an Overcomer virtual conference, but being able to take it and apply it to their life. Kimberly, can you give my the listeners something that you're going to be able to share with your topic?
Yes. Okay. I'm getting excited too, y'all. So I love it. I love collaborating and talking and all of that stuff like that too. My title is Forgive to Live.
Woo.
That is, I was, let me say this, I was a grudge holder. I was a grudge holder, and I found myself being stuck. And when you don't forgive, a lot of times we want to find a reason to get back. We want to find a reason to stay upset. We want to find a reason to protect ourselves. And all of that stuff from people, so we won't allow ourselves to get hurt again. And once you realize that God is your protector, so you don't have to protect yourself because He has you covered.
Come on now.
And so for me, I found myself stuck in unforgiveness or not forgiving. So when you can't forgive, you can't move forward.
Yes.
You can't get to the place that God has ordained for you to be.
Come on now.
And we also have to remember that He is quick to forgive us. So we have to do the same thing. We have to be His shadow. We have to do what He did. We have to mimic Him. So if I can't forgive my sister or my brother, why would I want him to forgive me?
Ooh.
That's a hard lesson to learn. But it's a lesson, nevertheless, that it's a must on this journey. You have to learn how to forgive. And a lot of people think that forgiving is, it didn't hurt me. No, you hurt.
Right.
But you forgive and you heal, and it no longer hurts anymore. It was just an experience that you had, and you learn from, and you move forward. So that's kind of like the nutshell. I don't want to talk too much because I might get into it.
Ooh.
It's kind of
I'm excited. Like, thank you. Forgive to live and getting unstuck. And like you said, people have to know that sometimes it's not even about the other person. It's more about you having to let go, you having to get unstuck from that place and being able to move forward. And I love what you said, because let me tell you, God had to work with me on that too. He gave me Exodus 14:14 that says, "You be still now, fight your battles for you," because I used to be one of those ones, y'all know I'm kind of little and small, and so I felt like I had to protect myself, and so I was always trying to make sure that I did it. But He always used to pull me to the side and say, "Come on, baby girl, let me fight for you. Let me fight for you." And so I, let Him fight for me. And so once I learned how to do that, even in learning lessons, to how to forgive and how to let go. And so those are amazing, amazing topics. So listeners, go register now for You Are an Overcomer. I got the Resilient Queens. We're here to let you know you are an overcomer. You can go to the Eventbrite page. You can go to www.ladonnamarie.org and join us on my website. Because I want you to be in the virtual space when we're releasing all of these nuggets. And so my topic is develop the person that God sees. And the reason why God dealt with me on that, because there's so many times that we don't see ourselves the way God sees us. And I can say for my own life that the enemy has fought me so much on my identity since I was like 14 years old. He's fought me so hard on my identity. And so I finally had to come to a place in my life where I was like, well, if he's fighting me so bad on this identity, then I must be powerful. Then God must have something for me to, to shake up the world. That there's something within me that I just have to release. And so that's what I want to bring, you know what I'm saying, to the conferences. I want people to know that you got to discover, you know what I'm saying, what God sees. And even though you've gone through some things, because we are not on here trying to omit to say that we have not gone through anything. But like they always say, I thank God I don't look like what I've been through. And we don't want to look like what we've been through. But we want to tell you that you're an overcomer. And so this conference is like, it's been just like, I mean, I'm so excited just talking to you all. I've been excited like every day. And as I post, you know, every day, I'm like, God, give me something else to say to, you know, let them know that they need to be in the building, that they need to be in the virtual space, that, you know, I'm bringing some powerhouses from each, you know, their own areas of the world, that we're going to come together in one space. And even prophetess Shannon Easter, she's a powerhouse as well. That woman of God, I was a part of one of her programs. I went to speak for her event with the young girls, and so she's going to be on later on in the show. But I just wanted to let you all know that I'm so thankful that you decided to come alongside of me and help me and help, you know, to impact other lives, because it's always about impacting lives, and it's always about, you know, God's glory. And another one of the things that I wanted to say that, and I know Kimberly, you kind of touched on it, about the lessons, and God had highlighted it. He said, what has God taught me? And so that part about, I've always been one that at the end of the day, if I've had to reflect, I've always wanted to know that what has he taught me? And I think so many people, instead of learning how, we need to come out of going through the motions. We need to come out of letting our emotions lead us, you know, into different things. But you just have to sometimes stand still. You know what I'm saying? You have to stand still, and you have to say, what am I learning? What lesson have I learned? And what has God taught me? So, ladies, I'm just so excited about everything. And listeners here on Inspirational Talks with LaDonna Marie, this Planting Positive Seeds podcast, you know, I'm always going to bring you, you know, some triumphant moments. I'm going to bring you some things that we've overcame in our lives. And tonight, this is a special edition because I have my sisters, Resilient Queens. We're here, and we want to share with you what we're going to be talking about at the conference. And so, does anyone else have any, you know, final things that they just want to, you know, plug for the people to know? I'm going to, you know, again, tell where they can go and register. But I'm just so excited. And like you said, we don't want to give it all away because we want the people to register and we want them to come. But I know that on November the 7th, it's from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Central, that it's going to be an amazing time on this conference and helping to empower people all over the world.
I concur. That's all I can say is I concur. I'm so excited about for this event. I personally want to glean from all of the ladies and hear what they have to say. And I think all of us need encouragement. I don't care how successful you are in life. We need to come back to the table and be fed, you know, the wisdom, you know, from one another. I just think that's just wise, sitting up under the feet of wisdom and learning from everyone's journey and what they have to impart. But I do want to say something just a little light here. Now, all of these women here are beautiful for those who can't see us visually. But I wanted to tease my sister there, LeKeisha. She came out like she was in Essence magazine. I mean, she looks wonderful.
So beautiful.
So beautiful.
Oh my God. Well, amen. Praise God. You keep it on. It's funny. I don't even think about the makeup like that. Like literally, like I said, ever since years ago, I just, been, like I said, been doing what I do, in the makeup lane and loving it just because, not looking for any, uplifting from anyone else. I just loved it. Yeah. So I said, I was excited. So, wow, I just thank you for appreciating me. Praise God.
Any final thoughts, Kim?
Well, I'm just excited. And I always like to, of course, I need encouragement because you find yourself sometimes always encouraging others. So, and sometimes you really need to hear some encouragement stuff. So, I'm ready for it. glad to be on the panel with you wonderful women. So thank you for the invitation. I can't wait.
You are so welcome. Well, once again, everybody that's listening out there, this is Inspirational Talks with LaDonna Marie, and I have my Resilient Queen sisters with me, Toni, Henderson-Mayers, we have Kimberly Moore, and LeKeisha Mosley, and we are a part of the You Are an Overcomer conference that is happening on November the 7th. 2020 is going to be a virtual conference. So in the privacy of your own home, on your own device, you can come and glean from each one of these amazing women. And also we will have Shannon Easter, evangelist and prophetess, founder of Destiny Speaks show, and Women of Royalty Destiny. And so if you would like to purchase your ticket, you can go over to Eventbrite. The Planting Positive Seeds virtual conference is open to, to everyone. If you want to come in, go ahead and register, and we will, see you there in our virtual space. Once again, this is LaDonna Marie. You can also register at my website, www.ladonnamarie.org. So I want to thank you all again for joining me on Inspirational Talks with LaDonna Marie, where we promote peace by serving others and helping to share our stories and helping them to be encouraged and empowered. I thank you all for blessing my listeners with all of your powerful stories. And once again, I'm excited, ladies, and ready for the conference, because the people out there, we're telling you that you are an overcomer. So bring your friends, bring your girlfriend, or bring your young ladies or young adults, and bring them to the conference so that they can be empowered to move into their next step, and it can change the trajectory of your life. So thank you all again. Have a blessed night.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Amen. Thank you.
Y'all have a good night.
I have gained so many valuable lessons from my experiences. In writing Things I Wish I Knew, Letters to My Little Sisters is a collection of heartfelt conversations with young girls and young adults all over the world, helping them to be prepared for things ahead. This has been another purpose-packed episode of Inspirational Talks with LaDonna Marie, a Planting Positive Seeds podcast. Please remember to like, share, and tell your friends about the podcast. Stay tuned for many more Inspirational Talks with LaDonna Marie.